Hello everybody and welcome to the Action Figure Atoria. My name is Mark Major. There it is, the lower third. Look at the production level of this show. I'm a real big toy collector here in Southeast Portland. I'm also a studio owner and I do a lot of sales and marketing, and I do a lot of these sales and marketing analysis videos where I look at people's action figure Kickstarters and I make some objective criticisms, but I also then like to pipe in and tell you what I think, because I love action figures, I collect action figures, and of course, just like everyone out there, I'm going to have an opinion, and today is no different. We're going to be looking at a character called BLAIN, and he is the main character from a comic book called The Edge. This is by a cat named, I believe, let me just double check before I say it, Marvin Wynn. This is Marvin Wynn. I'm not familiar with Marvin Wynn. I'm not familiar with the Edge comic, and I'm not familiar with his BLAIN character, but we're going to take a look at it because it is an action figure, and if you've got money, you can back this thing, and you may end up with an action figure. It should be pretty interesting. So everybody, come together, strap on the leather, hold on tight. Thanks for joining me, everyone. I always like to connect personally with everyone if I can and let you know that I do appreciate people who watch these videos, and I hope you get some kind of entertainment or value out of it. Now, let's switch over, shall we, to my desktop cam and look at the production level. We're going to look at this big yellow rectangle because this is the first frame of a video we're going to watch. Now, there is no voiceover for this video. There is a soundtrack of some kind of cool guitar thing going on. I feel that if I play the audio, I'm going to get some type of a copyright strike. It's not that they're going to take down my channel. It's that you get a, it's a yellow flag. I'm going to get a big yellow flag, but we're going to watch the video because he does show off the figure, and I think that that can kind of go a long ways in just giving you a presentation of what this is all about. Let's make it big. Let's watch this. All right, I'll do a little narration. Comicsburg, that's like Pittsburgh, but with comics, and LooseCollector. We're going to talk about LooseCollector a little bit here in a minute. That's good to note. All right, this is the character BLAIN. There he is. He's kind of a Punisher-looking dude. He's kind of a futuristic sort of a, male Aeon Flux. That's the action figure in its sort of 3D render. He has like sunglasses, apparently. He's got, I guess there's two pistols that go in the back. That's in his hands. So maybe we'll see them equipped. Comes with, looks like 3 pairs of hands. Actually, 3 extra pairs of hands. The 2 guns. 1 head with glasses, 1 head without glasses. That's what he looks like in the back. He's very posable. I believe 24 points of articulation. This is 1/18 scale, so if you are looking for a 1/18 scale, and there's it on the card, 1/18 scale action figure that has a lot of articulation, maybe something that you want to use in your action figure photography that maybe, who knows, you might decide to put a different head on it and give it a repaint. This might be an interesting buck. Let's take a look at the campaign, shall we? Welcome to the world of The Edge. Is this some sort of an homage to the band U2? Don't know. BLAIN, LooseCollector, Comicsburg, these are the 3 people bringing you this. Look at all the articulation. Double ball neck, double ball torso, shoulder swivel, shoulder hinge, bicep swivel. Lots of hinges and swivels, man. This guy just moves in all sorts of directions. This is a cool looking dude. What do you guys think of the haircut? Is that the kind of sort of the future of haircuts? Don't know. Don't know much about this BLAIN. I see him as kind of just based on the few shots that I looked at, he's kind of another sort of Punisher guy, goes out there with a gun, doesn't get his way, shoots him. All right? That's what BLAIN does. Sometimes he punches him. He's a cool looking guy. Some good shots. The marketing so far in this thing tells me everything I kind of need to know. I don't know anything about this character. I feel as if I'm getting, everything's coming straight at me. All right. There's also a 48-page comic. It's a one-shot, meaning it's a self-contained comic book. You don't need to get the whole series to understand it. Here's some more characters planned for Series 1. This guy, Revenant. Don't know who he is. Interim. Don't know who she is. At this point, we're just getting, napkin doodles. This guy, Mystic, don't know who he is. Then we get Suits Female. It's a female character in a suit, 3 different heads. There's kind of a 3D render. It looks kind of like a figurine though. Here's a male version. And here's some extra head packs that they're kind of showing us. And here's some of the comic books this guy has created, the covers, etc. This is some good looking art. Everything so far looks pretty good, people. I'm not seeing any red flags. Nothing's really bumming me out. Let's check out the prices, see what we can buy. Maybe we're in buy mode already. Are we purchasing this? Don't know. Don't know anything about BLAIN. It's a good thing his name's not BLAN. BLAIN's a little better, but it's very close to BLAN. Just saying, as far as marketing goes. All right, so if you want this 1/18 scale figure with all this articulation, hinges and swivels and, you know, guns and sunglasses and hands, $40, people. $40. Do you think that's too much? Leave a comment. Let me know. Price is everything. Price is everything. If you just want the digital comic, The Edge issue 1, $2. Not terrible. If you want the BLAIN High Stakes digital copy, that is $5. If you want an actual physical comic book, issue 1 of The Edge, $7. If you want a bag of coffee, maybe this is what I should buy. I've yet to see. See, this is great. I've yet to see anybody do coffee. This is what I'm talking about as far as tchotchkes with your brand that you can shoehorn in. Someone loves this character. They throw down $40. They say, you know what? Extra $10, making even 50. Give me the coffee. And you know what? When this thing closes, this guy could take this coffee that he's probably got bagged, ready to go, and mail them out immediately. You get the coffee. I get the feeling he's going to wait till he gets the figures in hand to send them all out together. But you could fulfill early, and I recommend that you do. But wait until people start to bitch, and then send out the t-shirts and the, you know, keychains, things like that. BLAIN High Stakes physical copy, $15. This BLAIN High Stakes one-shot with spine ticks and bad fad cover, so it's an alternate cover for $15. If you want the army builder of the guys in the suits, which, by the way, Marauder Gunrunners used to do 1/18 scale figures in suits, both male and female. I looked to pop them up on the screen, sold out. So this might be a way to get something like that. $30 for the male suit builder, $30 for the female suit builder. You get 1 body and you get 4 heads, the one that's on it and 3 other ones, 3 alternates. Different skin tones. They got gloves. You don't have to give you extra hands or anything. All right, The Edge Volume 1 and 2, $35. This is some kind of retail, someone who's going to resell this in their store. 5 copies of BLAIN High Stakes for retail friends, $37. This guy is trying to shoehorn as many of his comics along with the action figure. If you're a comic book maker, why not? This is how you sell. 10 issues of The Edge, so he's probably put out 1 through 10 so far, $50. That's $5 a comic. It's not terrible. It's a pretty good price. So far, everything's looking good. And then here's kind of a retail set. 5 copies of one shot, 5 action figures, $125. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about LooseCollector, because this is a good looking action figure. It's very well made. It looks very crisp. It looks very modern. It looks like a good product. It's made by LooseCollector. LooseCollector, here they are on Big Bad Toy Store. Here's currently some stuff that they've made. A lot of this is pre-ordered. A lot of this is in stock. Some of it is sold out. You can get various figures such as this Chaotica, Lamirta, Lady Satanis, Red Lamirta, which is Roja, Vampirella. You can get, used to be you could get the, was it the Rocketeer? And who was the Betty Page? Now I see Rocketeer and a dog. I wonder if they got slapped on the hand for making Betty Page. No. Have to do maybe a Google search. Purgatory, that's another Brian Pulido character, kind of like Lady Death, which I saw Lady Death in here. She, that's Billy Tucci. Red Sonja, Hell Witch. You know, these guys are players. LooseCollector is definitely a player in the comic book character field, and they are behind the BLAIN character. So everything here looks really good. Now, I do have a list of best practices that I talk about quite often. And that is this. You need 3-tier pricing: a standard item, a deluxe item, and a luxury item, right? Then you need as many items as you can get, usually like pyramid, 4 standard guys, 2 deluxe guys, 1 luxury guy, okay? And then of course, you always want to make sure that your best marketing, your best images, your best beauty shots, your comparison of this figure to other figures, all that kind of jazz, keep it all on your Kickstarter page. Don't start spreading it out on all these like Facebook pages and social media. Just keep it here, because I'm here now. I'm looking at it. This is who takes the money, right? This is essentially the store. This is where you do your selling. Okay, so the marketing, the number 3 on that part, this all looks pretty good to me. I do not see the wide selection, other than I see a lot of comic books for sale, digital and physical. But as far as the action figures go, there's the suits for 30 bucks, and then there is BLAIN for 40 bucks. So he's definitely a deluxe figure because he comes with 2 heads, 4 sets of hands, and some weapons. So I'm going to say that maybe the suits are kind of our standard figure, an army builder figure at 30 bucks. He should make it cheaper though. I would say skip the 3 heads, extra heads, make that a separate pack people can buy, right? Lower the price of your army builder. If you could do 20 bucks, $20, right? Or how about this? If you just want 1, it's 25 bucks. If you want 4, they're $20, and then someone buys 4, and then they buy the head pack with the 3 heads together with all 4 bodies, the head that comes with it, and the 3 other heads. They got a squad, and you make that its own packaged item. It's so easy to do. It makes so much sense, and it just gets people to buy more stuff. And the name of the game in action figure sales, as far as Kickstarters go, is quantity. Why? Because the factory wants big orders. They will not do small orders. It's not worth their time. They want to do big orders. And if you do a bigger order, if you order more figures, guess what? The price goes down of the figure and you make more money. So the carrot and stick here is to incentivize people with price to buy as many figures as possible. So I would take the suits, the male, the female, I would dump the price as low as I could get, even to where I was hardly making any money at all on them. Push people to buy 4 of them. Push people to buy the head pack, right? Make the BLAIN character your deluxe figure, and then figure out some luxury item down the road that you can sell these people. What is that luxury figure? Don't know, don't care. Luxury figures are simply there for people who have a lot of disposable income and will buy stuff simply because it exists. For all I know, it could just be a BLAIN and he could be solid gold. For 50, 55 bucks, 60 bucks. Don't know, don't care, doesn't matter. Doesn't need to actually reflect the value of what you're getting. Just needs to be some weird expensive thing. That's the way marketing works on this. So this guy's campaign is pretty close to sort of a perfect campaign, right? If he could just kind of fix sort of the pricing, dump some of the stuff, move some things around, like I said, this would be, I would give it an A. Right now, it's getting a solid B, not a B plus, not a B minus, solid B. Now he only needs $15,000. That's not much money in action figure terms. Maybe he's got some extra money on the side he can put into this and just needs a little bit of juice. There are some guys who, after their Kickstarter funds and they get a bunch of money, they actually go get a loan based on that. So maybe he's got some way to get some extra finances. $15,000 for an action figure is a little low. 1/18 doesn't matter. It's about the same price for 1/18 versus 1/12. The price of manufacturing the molds and getting them made, they're about the same. So his number, his goal he's looking for, a little suspect, but if he can get there with all these comic books, because comic books are a lot cheaper to print up and you can just send those out anytime, and he may already have them in stock, they may already be paid for. So if a bulk of his sales, of his money that he needs to raise, can be done with the comic books, good on him. Good on this Marvin Wynn. Now, the last thing that I'm really going to say about this campaign is that I think it's going to fund based on two things, right? Either A, he has got fans of the comic, and fans of the comic want the action figure, all right? So if there's enough The Edge readers out there who want BLAIN for an action figure, they will come in and they will buy this. They don't have a choice. Why? Because they're fans. Now, the other possibility, check this out, is people like me who don't know anything about The Edge, BLAIN, Marvin Wynn, but he sees the figure and he goes, you know what? That's universally cool. I'm just going to get it because I think it's an interesting piece of art, or I think it kind of goes with some other stuff in my collection, or I'm just sort of excited by the nature of whatever this thing is. And in that case, if you can just pull some like 1/18 scale lovers into this who just go, yeah, 40 bucks is a lot, but you know, so are Acid Rain and Joy Toy. But when you get them and they're in your hand, you're like, damn, these deliver. This is as good as anything else of any other scale. I love this. So those guys, they might have to get a BLAIN to scratch the itch, and that's one way this guy could actually make this happen, is just trying to appeal to people who love cool action figures. Don't know. Would love to hear from other people about The Edge, BLAIN, this campaign. It's always fun to discuss. Remember, I'm not the final word on any of this stuff. What I say is not gospel. What I say is the starting point for conversations. A lot of times I come out of the gate and I say a lot of goofy things really to get you into the conversation so that we can have a little bit of back and forth, because that's where I think the most fun is in the conversation. Thanks to everybody who made it this far into the video. Some of you know who you are. If you don't know who you are, it's who's ever watching right now. Like and subscribe. That's something you do on your time. You've got all this free time. You can click the button, see my videos come up in your feed. Give likes when you love these videos. But between both of us, just everybody stay charged.